Punjab versus Kolkata. Two teams spiraling downwards meet tonight. They're locking horns in Ahmedabad. Now, for the very first time, match is being played at this venue in the season. We have with us Babashish Nanda, who's analyst from Fantasy Gully. So what do you think this venue, how is it going to impact both the teams?
Well, they really have to adapt because what Ahmedabad brings to the table is unlike any other Indian venue. Firstly, the dimensions, now they are quite big. Some of the corners, the cow corner towards the third man area, those are really flattened curves. So you're looking at a lot of players who are fit enough to convert those singles into doubles and so on. Talking about these two teams, really, they really have to pull their socks. Especially if you're talking about Kolkata, what they're going through is a typical Kolkata rut. That tells you that the bowlers are doing their bit sometimes, and the batsmen, they're not stepping up. And what Punjab are also going through, that's a very typical Punjab rut. So what they do basically in the same game, the bowling comes up and the batting lets you down. When the batting does well, the bowling lets you down. And John Heroes also spoke about that in the previous game. But yeah, they really will have to get their act right if they're doing well in this venue.
And there have been players who haven't lived up to the expectations or their potential, let's say. So, any comment on underperforming players?
Well, a lot of them. We will look at three of those players that we have always spoke about the potential that they have and what they bring to the side is phenomenal. Someone like Nicholas Puran. Poor guy. Now he's faced a diamond duck, a silver duck, and a golden duck in this tournament. That is just horrible. But he's a brilliant player, excellent youngster. Chris Gale rates him really high in terms of his stroke play, power. Nicholas Puran comes in with a 8.5 credit is not cheap. You're spending a lot of credit, so you want returns for that. Shubman Gill, again, someone, because of his, red ball exuberance in the past, you expect him to do really well in white ball cricket. But that hasn't happened in this tournament. He's been very patchy, and you don't expect that from someone like Gill. And the top of the pile for me is Captain Morgan. Owen Morgan, with all the Midas touch that he's provided to England in white ball cricket, he has to transform some of it to the Kolkata franchise. Remember, again, a high credit player, 9 credits you spend to bring Morgan in. When you're spending that amount of credit, you better get some points. But so far, you're not getting any.
Well, there are two P's that catch the focus every season. One is performance and second is paisa. Because there's a lot of money riding on these players, and with many expensive players underperforming, the focus is now also on budget picks. Any comment there?
Absolutely. Right on contrary to these players, someone like Deepak Hooda, 109 runs and 5 wickets. He's been in dream team in every single game that he's played. That is phenomenal. If someone told Deepak Hooda at the start of the tournament that you'll feature in all of the dream teams so far, he would have taken it with both hands. In the same breath, someone who has done very nicely, I would say, is Varun Chakravarti, because the entire Kolkata setup really rates Varun's mystery. And what we have seen so far is he's just put that investment into a lot of performances, and you can expect Varun to keep doing well. These are the players that you really need to watch out for. Another player in that upcoming Indian pacer, Prasidh Krishna, 8.5 credits, you go for him, but he keeps giving you points. Fantasy Gully rating of 6.6. I can assure you, Arun, by the end of this tournament, that Fantasy Gully rating would keep going up.
Okay, now finally, let's talk about your top fantasy picks for this game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Arun, this is not simple at all because there are a lot of individual performers in this side, in these two teams. But someone that you cannot ignore is KL Rahul, right at the back. 10, he's got a Fantasy Gully rating. That explains why he's so good. Followed by Andre Russell with the bat, with the ball. He's got about 251 runs in this tournament and about 14 wickets. So that just tells you that against Punjab, Russell is really, really good. Then there is Chris Gale, Mayank Agarwal. Now, these are the two players I'll sort of go as a high-risk captain and vice-captain options. Because if they do well in your high-risk team, you're going to keep soaring and putting up those fantasy points. And then, of course, there's Sunil Narine. I'll tell you what, Sunil Narine must be hurting because Kolkata still has a lot of pain in him. It's a new pitch. There might be a little bit of moisture and probably it might just skid through. Someone like Sunil Narine might be deadly.
Okay, for more information, you can also go to ndtv.com/IPL, or you can go to the website that very proudly Babashish is flaunting in his background, fantasygrid.com. Go there and download the app. I'm Arun Singh, that Babashish Nanda. With this, we've come to the end of this video. Signing off.